What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with a very quick video to discuss an upcoming exotic weapon in Season of Defiance. And so naturally a spoiler alert is necessary here, although I guess Bungie have partially revealed this weapon. I'll explain how in a moment. But we're going to discuss the upcoming weapon, some refit catalysts that it's going to feature, and a couple of triumphs associated with it, as it appears to be an activity reward, perhaps for an upcoming mission in Season of Defiance. And so as always, I hope you enjoyed the video, but without further delay, let's get into it. And so the very first thing we learn about this weapon is actually on the Season Preview tab in the Season Pass. And that's why I said Bungie have partially revealed the weapon, because they give us a little bit of a hint right here. And it says enter the Vex network and claim a strange new weapon. And it appears to be an upcoming exotic Glaive, as when we look in the ornaments collections in-game, we can see an ornament for it here called Nexus Sunrise. However, we do know from some triumphs that the weapon is actually called VEXCALIBUR, which is a pretty cool name, and based on that description from Bungie, we'll be entering the Vex network to claim it. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment, but in terms of perks, I can't tell you anything concrete about what the weapon will do outside of being some kind of glaive. Although it will come with some additional attributes that we've only ever seen before on weapons like Revision 0, so this is the second exotic weapon that will feature various refits. And these come in the form of catalysts, much like we saw with Revision 0. So there's one called Immovable Refit, and I'd assume that this will grant the Immovable Object trait. And for that perk, dealing ranged damage grants substantially increased weapon energy when you're stationary with your shield raised. But another one listed for it in the database is the Robber Refit, and I'd assume that would be for Grave Robber, and melee final blows reload the weapon's magazine from reserves. That could be interesting on a Glaive. But finally there is the Feedback Refit, and I'm not sure which perk would be associated with this. Can't think of any off the top of my head, and from searching in the database, there isn't a currently visible trait with the name Feedback in it, so can't give you any extra info on that one, but feel free to speculate down in the comments. Otherwise, for main traits on the weapon, again I'm not sure what they'll be. Although visible in the triumphs in the game are some objectives associated with this weapon, so under Season of Defiance and Exotic Mission, there's a triumph to acquire VEXCALIBUR, and then another triumph called Firmware Update to acquire each of the 3 VEXCALIBUR catalysts. Again, those are Immovable, Robber, and Feedback, and that triumph actually comes with an additional reward, which is the Scribe Trace shell. It's a really cool exotic ghost shell right there, obviously Vex network themed. And so we do have a hint for the exotic mission, and no, this weapon doesn't appear to be associated with the raid, as the ornament and the triumphs, as well as that Season Preview tab, obviously refer to Season of Defiance specifically. But that's pretty cool, especially with this being a season alongside Lightfall. There have been a handful of exotic quests in the expansion, and we're going to get yet another one for this season itself. And so if we get any more information about it, guys, I'll be sure to keep you posted. Give us your speculation or any info you have on the thing down in the comments. But I thought it'd be an interesting discussion since Bungie have tipped us off about it. Plus they've pretty obviously left other things visible in the game, so not really sure how secretive they intended for it to be, but obviously not too secretive, right? If you've enjoyed the video today, a rating below really does help us out. Plus, be sure to get subscribed to the channel for more Destiny content. And otherwise, I will catch you guys very soon.